Time flies when you're having fun, right? So I'm going to show you about all the trial data that I had. Keep in mind that this is all not scientific data. I can't compare myself to Brian Bears there, so it's a lot different schooling. So, what I do is I do a 3x10 cutting in each plot to compare data points. So I'll take a 3x10 cutting. I cut it with a pair of shears right now, and then I'll cut compile all the product, weigh it, send it into the lab for sample, and then I do my calculations from there. So we'll start off with our fall crops for 2024. So we have 14 different varieties in that one, I believe. So there are a couple are replicated, but overall, this is just an overall comparison between the hybrid rye, our fall trits, and winter wheat. So first off, I'll start off with the hybrid rye. So I do 3 different cuts with hybrid rye. I'll do a boot cut stage, which is generally for most guys it'd be end of May. That's gonna be your top quality cut, and guys can follow this with like barley, for instance, if you want to do something like that. But this is generally for dairy guys who are going for the top quality. Serafino did really well on this one this year. Followed up by what most guys for forage for hybrid rye are doing. It's milk stage cuts. So this one is done anywhere from end of June to first week of July, depending on how far they want to let it go. So some guys will take it to from early milk to soft dough. I like it at early milk just because like you're not sacrificing tonnage, but you're also keeping a little bit of quality there. So that cut was done on, it says July 4th, but it was actually June 26th. So for the hybrid ryes, they're all pretty comparable. I mean, the Serafino, it's been a mainstay for us for last number of years, and it shows it in the data, especially for forage. So want to keep in mind what Greg was mentioning with the Tadius fall trit with the 30 plants versus 40 plants. So the 30 plants did show an increase in tonnage potential on it. And I saw this with a producer this year too. Like he planted at 22 plants per square foot, and he averaged just under 22 metric ton per acre. So it definitely can be pushed, and it stands very, very well. So this last cut I do on hybrid rye, it's the second cut from regrowth on the boot cut stage. So this is more of an opportunity cut just because we continue to water our plots. Not typical if you are doing a boot cut stage, you might be disking it under or just plant something else in there. So this is just to show what could you have as potential regrowth. So you're typically seeing 60 to 70% of regrowth potential. So of the boot cut stage. So anywhere from kind of seeing that 6 to just over 8 metric tons. So not bad. And then last I took the winter wheat and soft dough. So it's usually that middle of July is a good timing for that for winter wheats. Depending on the area, most guys are going towards the hybrid rye compared to silage and winter wheat, but it's still a good option for guys. Wildfire, it showed it this year in the trials. It just has a little bit more leaf matter to it, so can maybe still be a good silage option, but cold front still looks really well, so really good. So keep that in mind. Then we'll get into the fun trials that I did throughout the years. So we'll start off with the barley. So I planted 2 little barley plots, 2 different varieties, Esma and CBC Durango. I wanted to see if I could take them to harvest, and I did. I didn't do a moisture on them, but with my calculations, it averaged out between 140 and 144. It was in a good part of the field, and keep in mind it's a very small plot, so could be achievable, but you never know. The other trials I did, so they were done after the milk stage cut. I wanted to compare forage sorghum, oats, and then I also planted some hybrid rye again at that timing just to see what I could get from a vegetative cut, which it compared to the arbor of oats this year, and I think, well, the oats, they took on some deer damage this year early on. They got nipped at a little bit, so it kind of took away from the yield potential. But overall, oats I think are still the best option to get off early, but sorghum has the most tonnage potential out of it. So these were all taken at the same time and same day. Just the sorghum was a little bit better. So. All right, so we'll get into the spring crop trials now. So I did a cutting for all the barleys that we have in the plots. I think overall, what is there, 16 different barley varieties that we had in there. Just want to compare between malt and feed varieties, what could be a potential forage option for you. Kind of swings all over there, but the 6 rows did really well again. And then mixed in with everywhere else kind of looking pretty good. So overall, we have some very good options for you for barley silage going forward. And yeah, it laid down a week before, so it's a little interesting to cut with shears, but it was manageable. All right, so spring wheat or spring triticale and soft wheats. This was an awesome one actually. So the Elata, which is new this year, it showed a lot of strength there. And keep in mind, like these numbers, they might seem small compared to large scale data, but it's just, I wanted to show the comparison between varieties. Like I hope most people could get over 12 metric ton on irrigation, but if you can't, it might be a variety sake. But yeah, overall, the soft wheats look really good. The Galore showed a lot of strength. And then between the spring trits, the Sunbeam showed a lot of strength, and even the Trical Surge. So this is another one where seeding rate was a big difference. The 25 plants versus the 40 plants. It just was able to stand up a little bit better and keep a little bit more strength to it, and had a lot more weight to it. So something to keep in mind for going forward. I won't really try to push you guys past 25 plants if I can. So, and then we are Thunder Seed corn reps here for Southern Alberta. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of the data points for from what we have. I have tables from 3 different trials that I did throughout the year. So this first one was just north of Coaldale. We had 3 different varieties that did very well. We actually won the trial there, the 6180. So that one, it's a 2300 heat unit corn. Little like this was planted on May 31st, so that's stretching a little bit for 2300 heat unit, but it's we had a long fall, so helped out a lot. But everything looked good in there. It's just we won by a little bit. So, and then this Vauxhall trial, it was done just east of Vauxhall. So we did a silage and grain corn trial there. It's on the same field. It was overall 45 different varieties throughout the entire thing. So it was a big day. But overall, the varieties did pretty good. They averaged out between 23 to 25 metric ton, which was pretty good compared to what corn yields were looking at when everything was planted at the end of May there. So, and then for grain corn side of things, this actually surprised me a lot here. So our varieties averaged at the 196 mark. There were some that were or a couple in the 200 mark there. So showing that there's a lot of good variety and a lot of good genetics out there. All right. So we are Cantera members here we have canola as an option for anyone that hasn't booked yet, but which if that's the case, then I can help you. But these are just kind of a highlight of some of the new varieties and strong varieties going forward. So they did launch the new 4100 Liberty Link. It's a soft release, but it's their new Liberty Link going forward. It looks very good in the data. Mustards. So this is a fun crop. These are kind of the options for everyone going forward. On the brown side, there is a new, so we used to have AAC Brown 18, and that got replaced by AAC Brown Elite. So it's just same yield, but it's better on the end user side of things. So that's kind of why it got brought in. But other than that, we have AAC Yellow 80, which is a good composite yellow hybrid. Averages between 5 to 9% better than Andante. Orientals, we have all conventionals, and then we have a new product. It's called AAC Guard. So it's a cover crop mustard. It doesn't produce seeds. So for those that are doing cover crops, if you are in seed canola, then this obviously can't be an option. But it's good for it's biocontrol against potentially against wireworm. So they use it in PEI for after potatoes to help with wireworm control. So another potential, but got a couple different bag size options there for you, and then a few different seed treatment options. So butano became a thing for mustard starting this coming year. Which is a good thing for flea beetles, but we also have Vertenza Advanced for flea beetle protection, and then Helix 5 still gives a little bit for you, but I'll cover on this kind of the last little bit. So we are Imperial Seed members, so we have a long range of different cover crop options, going from clovers to any sort of brassica to all grasses. These are good for if you're looking to get a little bit of cover crops in the fall to help with soil erosion protection with those winds that we can see out here. So if the time permits, could be a good thing for guys going forward. You can mix this in with kind of like a conventional fall rye just to give you a little bit extra protection, and then maybe go into a forage option the following year. So. And then I have had guys over the last couple of years started to do pretty strong blends of different crop types. So they'll mix something like a spring trit, a forage pea, and then a conventional fall rye together. So to maximize on tonnage potential and then and forage quality, but then they allow themselves to, with the conventional fall rye, to give them grazing potential afterwards. So kind of just thinking for that next step and just eliminating another potential of going back in with your drill afterwards. So something we can play around with, but definitely a lot of options out there for you. So overall, that's kind of it in a gist. So any questions for me?